Hello, folks. This is Steve A. for you. I'm waiting for video to render, the one I'm going to put up for your enjoyment at midnight. So, I look at slashdot.org, but now nothing in this episode is a promotion, nor is a recommendation, especially if I mention a brand name that you're familiar with. Well, there isn't anything really interesting on the front page of Slashdot today. News for nerds. Nerds must all be asleep. Although it says Zoom demands workers return to office 2 days a week, is the remote working revolution dead? I told you way back in the 90s when I went to work for that big internationally known, internationally operating IT company that one of the things they paid for, I lived in Raleigh, was ADSL, asymmetric digital service line, over my phone instead of the regular acoustical modem. But their motive was, see, they didn't give it to everybody. I worked on a product support that way if they needed me at 3 a.m. on Saturday morning, they could call me up and say, get online and join in. Now they're trying to get you to go back to the office. And by the way, that internationally known, internationally operating IT company, I think I've read like a year ago that they threatened the workers that if you don't all come back from the COVID work from home stuff, we're going to fire you or something like that. So that's a big struggle area. But there's another one, and it's the reason why I'm going to talk today, that when I saw it, I went, holy shit. Now, first of all, let me show you something that is from Slashdot, but it's on this website that's called X. Now, remember, I'm not promoting anything, and I'm not recommending, but it is a Slashdot, should I say tweet? Are they going to continue to say tweet? I don't know. But it was published on July 17th. So a couple of weeks ago, at that time, when Meta announced Threads as a direct competitor to Twitter becoming X, Threads usage drops by half from initial stage. And my understanding it's dropped even but another half of that, at least. But remember, I'm an idiot and I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. So now we've got Meta Facebook in it, right? Head to head, X versus Threads. So when I glanced at this, it was a reminder get ready to rumble. Now, wait a minute. Rumble's a streaming site, so it's funny that, but they must mean it like in the 1950s and 60s movies. What was that thing about the Puerto Ricans in New York? And I can't remember that. It was a great show, great movie, musical. Put it in the comments for me. I can't remember. Let's get ready to rumble. Musk says cage fight with Zuckerberg will be live streamed on Twitter X. I wonder if it'll be live streamed on Threads. Whatever. Oh, wait a minute. I don't even know. See, I don't have these accounts. Do they have live streaming on Meta Facebook? I don't even know. Wait a minute. Can you live stream on Meta? Wait a minute. Is Meta the virtual world? Oh, Instagram. Can you live stream on Facebook? I don't know. I don't do it. Okay. On Sunday morning, that would be today, Elon Musk wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter. Everybody has to say that now. I wonder how long it'll take for that to die away. That he will be fighting his arch nemesis Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg in a mixed martial arts cage match. And my understanding is that this is real and that Zuckerberg's really and him are really going to do it. Zuck versus Musk will fight live streamed on X. Musk tweeted, he said, all proceeds go to charity for veterans. Thank you. Musk says he's been lifting weights throughout the day, preparing for the fight. His days are busy, so he trains at work. Does that mean he goes to the office or he trains where he is? So one Twitter user, X user, see, that doesn't sound right. Musk goes around, look, he's really smart. If you haven't figured that out, one of his techniques, I've seen it, is he goes into these areas that you think are completely unrelated, tech industries of various kinds. But the point of it is it will be a tool to shake up some other one that he's involved in. But you just don't see it at first. Elon, what is the point of this fight? Is it to motivate you to work out? You know how I go and climb Faith Rock Trail, or I go out and mow, even if it's 90 degrees and I'm old as the hills, because I want my burst exercise every day. The incentive actually is that I feel, most times I feel awful when I start, but when I finish, I feel great for the rest of the day. So and he responded, it's a civilized form of war. Men love war. Yeah, my war was with, who attacked me in the war out there? The Yellow Jackets. The Battle of Thermopylae. You know about that, don't you? You saw the movie, The Spartans. I didn't go to that. How do I know about it? Because it changed the course of history. Persia would have ruled the world still. Go read Persian history a little bit. So anyway, but then I saw something else. I saw this and I thought, oh yeah, this is coming up. But then as I scrolled down, I saw something else and I went, Shazam. Right here. This is now this morning. I was looking a few minutes ago. This is Elon Musk again. And if I don't pronounce it the way he does, I pronounce it the Israeli way, Hebrew way. No limit. Elon Musk says he'll fund lawsuits against employers who fire workers over their Twitter history. And the reason why that was a lightning bolt is that yesterday, NASCAR driver suspended. I'm just going to put now this is Google search giving me the suggestions to complete my thought. NASCAR driver suspended for liking a meme. What? There's the news items. It's in USA Today. NASCAR driver Noah Grogson suspended for liking meme making fun of. NBC News, New York Post, Daily Mails, TMZ, CBS News. This must be headline news. A NASCAR driver isn't going to be allowed to race this season because of something he did on Twitter. And I went and looked at his current today Twitter post where he's all apologetic. Go read it for yourself. So that was the connections I got. We got a cage fight coming up, and then suddenly I see this, but yesterday I saw that other headline, and I'm wondering, did Musk, just like, I think it was, who challenged whom? Did Musk challenge Zuckerberg, or was it the other way around? I'm going to bet it was Musk. Did Musk challenge Zuckerberg to a fight? Musk, first time I'm reading this, Fox Business News. I'm connecting things. Mind wandering, brainstorming to figure it out. Musk challenged Zuckerberg to a mixed martial arts cage match earlier this year. The Tesla and SpaceX founder, what has SpaceX got to do with Tesla? See what I've said before? Tweeted that he was up for a cage match with Zuckerberg, who was trained in jiu-jitsu. Zuckerberg is married to a mainland Chinese-born doctor, MD, and I know that his kids know Mandarin. But I thought jiu-jitsu was Japanese. Now let me just do this. See, this is the way my mind works. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a self-defense martial arts. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a family of Japanese martial arts and a system of close combat. What is the Chinese Jiu-Jitsu? I know what it is. Chinese grappling, Shuai Jiao. It's a stand-up grappling style, meaning that although there are hip throws, leg sweeps, and hand techniques, like many other arts, there's no ground grappling. Chinese have a version of everything, folks. They've been around for a long time. They almost invented printing. They invented printing, right? Paper. They invented paper for writing 2,000 years ago, when everybody else was chiseling it on the pyramids, chiseling it on stone, sitting on the stone and chiseling the Latin in backwards and getting some of the letters backwards. Okay, so it was Musk. It figures. So I think this is another one of those. He'll fund lawsuits against employers who fired workers over their Twitter history. In other words, what you do at home is your business, and if your employer is spying on you, I'm guessing. Musk put out a call on Saturday for folks to contact Twitter/X if they were unfairly treated by their employer due to posting or liking, which is what the NASCAR driver did. He liked something on Twitter posted by someone else on this platform. In other words, if you did it somewhere else, forget it. And he will help them sue and fund their legal bills with no limits. Uh-oh. It doesn't even have to be a class action suit. There it is. I think this is the news of the day. This is really interesting, primarily because of Musk's past history. Employers that you've been up to, you know what this is? Musk is going to say, this is all about free speech. I said I bought, have I got that right? Let me see. Let me put it as a search. Musk bought Twitter to protect free speech against the FBI, the CIA, and certain people in the executive. Now, this is the Foundation for, I've never heard of these people. This is the first time I'm doing the search. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, thefire.org. Never heard of them. Is the new Twitter policy freedom of speech? What did Elon Musk say about free speech on Twitter? He thought the company was Twitter, when he bought it. The company was overzealous in censoring speech. There's House of Representative committees, specialized committee hearings every day now with various people like the Attorney General, the head of the Department of Justice, the FBI head, and a lot of other ones. Why were you doing this? How come the government's involved in talking to Twitter CEOs saying, kill this guy? What's it your business? Where's it in your mandate as a government agency? Is it even handed? He thought the company was overzealous in censoring speech on a platform that, in his view, is akin to the town square of the internet. Unlike most of us, he had the means to do more than complain about it. He bought the whole dream company. I've never read this before. I used the search engine, and this is what they gave me, and this was December 1st, 2022. That's what this is all about. Part of it is to destroy threads, to drive thread usage even lower by being more attractive, daring, challenging, headlining. That's what Musk does. He gets headlines. He's got deep pockets. It's going to be very interesting to see. Oh, wait a minute. Austin Allred. Elon understands that nothing changes behavior in the United States faster than the threat of legal action. In other words, I got big lawyers. We can sweep you under the carpet. Oh, I'm almost sure no legal team will say that about Musk. But they would about me. They'd find a way to do. When I worked for that big internationally known, internationally operating IT company, they started a policy known as resource actions. Every 3 months, everybody got reevaluated, and supposedly the rumor was that there were quotas given to managers as to how many of their people they had to let go. And there are lawsuits now still continuing more than 10 years later. In this past year have reached to the United States Supreme Court finally. 10 years, 12 years, 14 years. One of the lawsuits, it was a person whose suit started 14 years ago. They'll die first before there's an actual, you follow? What I mean by sweep you under the carpet? I wonder if that's the way it'll happen with Musk. If he decides to champion you and he starts to put whomever he can hire behind it, and they find ways of not being shortcutted and diverted and delayed, a way to present it so that it reaches the top of the docket first, ahead of other things that can wait. Because this would be appealing to both the Declaration of Independence and our actual Constitution, the Second Amendment. Why do we have 10 amendments to the original Constitution? I'm in North Carolina. North Carolina role in demanding the 10 amendments to the Constitution. See, they're talking about to the U.S. Constitution. North Carolina's vital role in ensuring the people had a Bill of Rights. The guest essayist is northcarolinahistory.org. So they took it from their website. Aside from the federal Constitution, North Carolina has had 3 state constitutions since separation from Great Britain, one in 1770. So the North Carolina has been a battleground state and a determining factor in national debate many times. In the 1787, you remember we had articles of confederation, whatever it is, from the Declaration of Independence until we actually had a United States Constitution after the end or toward the end of our American Revolutionary War. We didn't have it from 1776. So what was the problem? After the framers drafted the Constitution at the 1787 Philadelphia Convention, the document was submitted to respective state ratification conventions for approval. See, there was no internet. They had to put it on the Boston Post Road and the Postal Road. There were stagecoach roads and postal roads. In order for the new union to be formed, 9 states had to ratify the Constitution. 9 states did so, and soon after 2 more gave approval for a total of 11. North Carolina was not one of the states. North Carolina became one of only 2 states to hold out from ratifying the Constitution and joining the Union. In North Carolina, there was much debate between the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. There were a lot of North Carolinians who didn't want to be part of the new country. And they had specific reasons. The same ones why they kicked the British out. And I'll let you read it. So the reason why we have the 10 articles immediately added to the Constitution that had to be ratified was to get North Carolina into the Union, to the new government, the new country. Otherwise, they were going to go their own way. Yeah. The Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution, would not have happened except for the stubborn people, brilliant people in North Carolina. You kick them in the shins until it hurts. Why would they need North Carolina? Oh, you've never been here. You need to come here and know the history. You understand why they couldn't let it go. They, people up in New York and Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., the big shots. There was a reason why they couldn't let it go by. So North Carolina was the Elon Musk with respect to the new United States Constitution. I'm going to make that comparison, simile. And I think that's what's going to happen here. Libs of TikTok. And then they named somebody specifically on Twitter who was fired for following Libs of TikTok. Whoever she is, the situation is slightly more complicated than the headline, but yes. So this person is saying, yes, it was led by someone who dug through my tweets and found a single one from 2016 regarding hesitation of people to take advantage of bathroom discussion. Started a witch hunt and I was fired the same day. So that was a co-worker or an executive of somebody who didn't like her, and they went through Twitter and they found something and they ran to the big boss. Yeah. That's why we have a Bill of Rights. Oh, the Second Amendment, freedom of speech and freedom of religion. Oh, that's because of North Carolina. Would not exist otherwise. Go look. Am I getting them wrong? I'm getting excited about this. Second Amendment rights, a well-regulated militia, the right to bear arms, a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Boy, if you knew something about North Carolina history during the American Revolutionary War, you'd understand that one. Get down and talk. Okay, so what was the First Amendment? See, I'm reviewing now. It's been since kindergarten since I looked. First Amendment rights simplified. Oh, there it is. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting its free exercise. Boy, that's North Carolinian. You should live around here in the Piedmont. It protects freedom of speech, the press, assembly, and the right to petition the government for redress of grievances. Twitter, Town Square, freedom of speech. Just because you speak there, can they come and screw you behind your back? Most of the time they can get away with it because you don't have the money for lawyers. Oh, wait a minute. That's what we're talking about. I'm letting my mind wander, folks, and I'm brainstorming it. And Musk answered her, great, let's have at it. He's inviting her to formally apply. Oh, I wonder if she's in North Carolina. And then they're talking about this one. Now that's Lenin. And somebody said, my family was hunted by Nazis, but I was fired for defending something. David Volokso criticized Lenin in Seattle Times. Now he's without a job, a story of profound intolerance in our country. So it looks like there'll be no end of headline cases that will probably be rapidly moved toward the Supreme Court, or people will buckle under and shape up and live by the United States Constitution not only in its words, but in its meaning and reason for being. Thank you, North Carolina. See, some days Slashdot.org is just plain boring. Steve A. for you, brainstorming and after letting his mind wander a little bit to see the bigger picture, saying, see you in 73.